Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing on today? This is Dr. Venesia Williams. I am so excited that you took the time out to join me today. Listen, I need you to share. I need you to invite. I need you to do all of that good stuff. We are about to have a phenomenal power pack session. Listen, if you haven't shared, make sure you do that. So let me tell you, for those that may be joining for the first time, listen, I'm Dr. Venesia Williams, the #1 prophetic empowerment coach in the UK. I am the author of the books, The Power of Renewing Your Mind, which is a 21-day devotional, and Turning Point, How God Turned My Darkness into Marvelous Light. I'm also the co-founder of the Power of Love Ministries and the Empowerment Club, where we empower, equip, and ignite women to fulfill their purpose, their goals, their dreams, and their visions without getting burnt out or frustrated. Listen, I definitely want you to connect. I definitely want you to make sure every single Tuesday you mark it in your calendar. This is the only place to be. We have an empowerment talk. We having testimonies. We having people coming on, sharing their expertise, serving you. They're not getting paid to do this. They're coming on and serving you, empowering you, equipping you, getting you to your next level. So the least you can do is share. I need about 10 shares before I invite this phenomenal powerhouse on today. You know, I just thank God for favor. I've just been connecting with some boss women that are about their faith, about their business, about their money, and about connecting and collaborating. And that's what I love. I absolutely love connecting. I absolutely love serving women, connecting with women, and really just seeing them be stretched to their next level. And on that note, shameless plug. Have you seen what's going on? Like, if you look right there, do you see what's coming across the screen? Empowering Women to Win registration open. Yes, the Empowering Women to Win conference. We have, woo, my. I don't know what we're going to do with so much greatness in one room. We got women coming from the north, the south, the east, the west, coming together to connect in person. That, listen, live is good, virtual is good, because I'm a virtual baby. But there is nothing like getting in the room. There is nothing like when you are in the room and there's something that's ignited. I've been in rooms, listen. I've been in rooms. I didn't have a business. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't even know what I was going to do. I was just showing up. Listen, and when you get in the right room, before you leave, something is ignited. Suddenly you think, oh my God, I can do this. Or wow, I'm actually good at this. Something is ignited within you when you get in the right room with the right people. So I'm definitely encouraging you. Get to Empowering Women to Win conference the 30th of June. You don't want to miss it. We have some phenomenal speakers that are coming. There's going to be some phenomenal opportunities. Listen, from you see multi-millionaires coming to take the time out to fly to London to make sure they're in the room. Like, that ain't nothing but God. That ain't nothing but God. And I give him all the glory because it's all about divine connections. And listen, I want to invite our guest on because I'm seeing her. She's looking all cute and glamorous. She is coming on. Listen, not only is she a trailblazer, she is also one of our speakers at Empowering Women to Win conference, Shevelle. Listen, God, that's what I'm saying. She bringing the energy. Yeah. I want to make sure everybody they follow Shevelle. Like, listen, you just make me want to take a flight. You make me want to dip in the pool. You make me want to bring out my shades. I'm like, this woman of God she's just doing her thing, and she's doing it with excellence. I absolutely love it. Shevelle, tell them a little bit about yourself because listen.
Oh my goodness. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I was having trouble with my microphone, so you know what? I just pulled it off. I was like, we gonna ride with this because God gonna show up, he gonna show out, he gonna make sure I'm heard today.
Yes.
I am super excited to be here. First of all, I'm excited to fly to London. I can't wait to be in the room because you know what you just said, great things happen when you're in the room. I'm here to tell you, I have been like you. I have shown up at places. I am trained by trade. I am an attorney, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to law school, became a prosecutor, started my own law firm, got this bug on this entrepreneurial side, started working and coaching women. But I remember the first time I showed up at a live event, I was trained as an attorney. I had no idea what this coaching was side and all this other stuff. And I just didn't know, right? But let me tell you, when I left that room, not only did I know what that was, but this is what was birthed from that. That was my first book.
Boom.
The first book. Because you know what? Let me just tell you, I met someone in the room. We had a conversation, and he was a publisher. And literally, probably within 60 to 90 days, this book was birthed, right?
Wow.
So that is the power of being in rooms where you're connected with people that have gifts that are different from yours, because we all have different gifts. And when you can connect and all these gifts get together and you start talking about what you do and what they do, and you start pouring into each other,
come on,
things happen.
But listen, we're not gonna just slide over what you just said right there. So you studied, you became an attorney. You not only became an attorney, you had your own law firm.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
So yes, had my own law firm. Have been practicing law since 2021, and it led me into the transition because all of the legal training that I received, I was a prosecutor at one time. I did a lot of trial work. I don't really take on any of that kind of work anymore. I stopped several years ago because I'm focused really with working with entrepreneurs. I've been working with entrepreneurs for the past several years. Now my law firm still does trademark work only. So we help entrepreneurs get their brands protected.
Yes.
But I'm out there on the forefront, making sure that not only do they have their legal pillars in place, but making sure that they have other success principles in place as well, so that you can grow and scale. And not only make money, but able to keep it, to be able to build a legacy, be able to create other opportunities, other ventures, right? Multiple streams of income.
Come on.
Okay, so just in case one door closes, we still eating.
Yes.
We still eating, okay? So people need to understand that, because we are multifaceted. We are multi-gifted individuals. And a lot of times what happens is we get so accustomed and so comfortable with this one thing. Like at one point when I practiced as an attorney only, I was very comfortable. But when I stepped outside of my shell and I realized I have transferable skills. So the next book that's dropping when I get to London, because that is the release date from the conference, we're going international. It's intellect to income. And it's basically, how do you take all of this knowledge, all of this training, all of these gifts, and how do you transfer that over into a profitable, lucrative lifestyle business? So that you can, because if you follow me, you see I am I love the water, right? I'm doing business by the beach. I'm speaking by the beach. I'm running businesses from Paris, London, Dubai, all over the world because of my gifts, right? My gifts, I wasn't given these gifts for me to just keep them captive or think that I could only serve one in one area. I could only do this one thing. A lot of times what you have to realize is we're on a journey. So the things that I learned when I went to law school and I got all that background of what I call formal education.
Yes.
And then I took that into the work world, the governments, the institutions, right? That's where we're sort of like, we're a commodity though. Let's just be real. We're a commodity because we go to fill a position. But we are more than commodities. Because what happens is once you get that education, that formal training, you can now take those gifts coupled with that experience. Now you can take it into the marketplace and you are much more
Yes.
profitable, okay? Because your skills, your unique talent, your training, all those degrees, everything that you've acquired along the journey is valuable.
Yes.
It's
Woo!
valuable.
I absolutely love it. One more time, what's the name of your book that is jumping internationally when you come to London?
The name of the book that's dropping internationally when I arrive in London for this wonderful, awesome event on June 30th. I'll be there earlier though, because you know me, I like to come a couple weeks, maybe a
Yes.
couple months early, right? So I'll be there early. But it's intellect to income. Is how do you turn your education and your experience into a lucrative lifestyle business?
Wow. Listen, that's a reason alone to make sure you're in the room.
I'm gonna be there.
That's
They need to be there.
alone. Listen, and what I loved what you said earlier as well. You said you went to a conference, you got out your comfort zone, you went to a conference, you connected with someone, and within 90 days, you was able to birth out your book, Soar.
This is what happens when you get in the right room. This is what happens.
Tell us a little bit more about that, because I feel like sometimes we end up being our own stumbling block.
Yes.
We end up trapping ourselves. Go ahead.
So let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you this story exactly how it happened. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was actually, I wasn't planning on going to this conference because at that time I wasn't a prosecutor anymore. I was in private practice. I was a defense attorney, but honestly, I was a little burnt out, right? So I'm sitting at my computer and I'm thinking, what's the next thing for me? Because I'm always interested in what God has next for me. You have to listen to him. You have to talk to him.
Yeah.
And so I turned my computer on and it was this invitation to go to this event in California. And I had never been to this event. I haven't never heard of the person who was hosting the event. But the title of it, and you may know who this person is when I say the title of the event was Speaking Right. Okay. So I said, I Googled this person and I said, oh, she reminds me a little bit of me. She was a teenage mom. She came from a rough neighborhood. She overcame some things. I said, maybe I should go to this event. So I go to this event. Long story short, I go to the event. When I get there, you know, when we get, this is the thing too, I need to share this. When you come to an event, you find one or two people, you kind of lock on to them, right? Now y'all having lunch together. And no. Don't ever do that. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. I did that. I locked on to these individuals, but here's what happened. We had a break. I thought they said it was a lunch break, but it was just a break. So when someone from the conference saw me outside, he said, do you know we started like 5 minutes ago? I said, oh no, I thought we were on lunch. When I went inside, the group that I attached to was in another group, because the host of the event had told people to get in groups of 4 and 5s. Right? So at that time, they said, we were trying to wait and hold your spot, but we didn't know where you were. So the host said, find another group. So I looked around all the way on the other side of the room. It was a group. And they were short a person. So I joined in that group. Now, when I came to the event, I thought, Speaking Right, oh, maybe I'll come and learn how to write a book. Let me tell you, this was like day 3 of the event. We sat down, the person had us in circles. And this was the instruction. You have to tell, just like an elevator pitch, in like 1 minute, say who you are, what you do, and how you can help. And then you want to ask the people in your circle, can they introduce you to someone? Right? Ooh. So this was the assignment. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, let me see what I want to say. In the meantime, the guy sitting next to me, he says, I'll go first. And he said his name and he said, I am a publisher and I'm I help authors and people who want to write books, or people who think they might have a book in them. I help them write and publish their books within 60 days. Wow. Do you know anybody that you can refer me to? I said, me. Hey. I said, me. I said, me. Right? So the point is, and then long story short, we connected. I ended up hiring him. He helped me put the book together. I wrote everything. We had it published. It became a #1 bestseller. This is my very first book. So what I want to share about that story is this. Number one, you have to get outside of your comfort zone. Well, first of all, you got to have a conversation with, for me, it's God. Whoever is your high authority, you always have to have conversations with him and ask him to direct your next steps. Because it was my conversation with him that drove me to go to that event in the first place when I had no idea. That event had been planned for months. I just found out about it a week before, and that was when I had the conversation with God. Okay. Wow. So the first thing is I had the conversation. The second thing is I went out on faith. I didn't know anybody at this conference. I never been to this particular location, but I was trusting God. He said, go to this event. I went to this event. Then while I was there for years, I had been talking about, I should write a book. But I had been too busy doing all the things. All of a sudden I'm at this event. And then I still tried to stay in my comfort zone when I got there, because I hooked up with some beautiful women, love them to death. We still good friends, but by some kind of fate, we ended up separating.
Wow.
And then when we separated, and I found this new group all the way on the other side of the room that I never would have went to, right in that place and in that moment was what I came to that event for, what I needed.
Woo!
That was the first book. Now I'm on book. Let's see. I was in a compilation. This was the first one. That was the second one. Then we did Legally Bossed Up. Then we did the workbook. Now I'm coming to London and we're going to drop book number 5.
5. Wow. I'm so proud of you. That is just so excellent. And just the power of being in the room and stepping out of your comfort zone, because it's so true. Sometimes you go to events and you get hooked to certain people, and then you don't end up networking or talking to other people, and your connection could just be right there. That was just so powerful. So tell us a little bit more about your journey now, what you're doing with entrepreneurs and helping them to really get to their next level.
Also, absolutely. So what I'm working on, I always have different projects, but what's the top of mind project for me right now is really this intellect to income project. And what I'm doing is I am working with entrepreneurs, professionals, people who have degrees, coaches, people who have training, gift, skills, right? And what I'm doing is I have a program, and I'm actually enrolling them so that we can work closely together, so we can get all of this knowledge out of their head and turn it into a tangible asset that they can leverage. It could be a group coaching program. It could be a book. It could be escaping from the soul-sucking job. It could be getting out of that claustrophobic cubicle that's been holding you back. It could be getting off the profit hamster wheel. Whatever it is, I want to help them to be able to create that. And so that is what I'm doing now. I'm making sure. Now, this is the thing. Legally, I believe that every business needs to have a legal foundation. So Legally Bossed Up, the book that I launched last October out of Paris, was all about making sure that you have your foundation in place. So now that all my people, all my entrepreneurs, they have their legal foundation in place, they know how to set everything up. They know how to protect their assets. They know how to go into their contracts. They know how to do all those things. Now the next step is let's make some money, right? So I'm on this journey to help them transfer that knowledge and that skill that they have, those unique gifts, everything. I'm not just, I would tell people, you're not just a commodity. And a commodity, by that mean, you're not just a lawyer. You're not just an accountant. You're not just a hairstylist. You're not, those are titles, right? Those are descriptions of roles, but you are bigger than that.
Come on.
You are much bigger than that. So all of whether you are an attorney or an accountant, those are great skills to have. But when you couple that, like for me, it's yes, I was a prosecutor, I was an attorney, but I also have a business background. I also, opened three law firms in the first year. I took those law firms to like multiple 6 figures the first year. I've done so many other things. I had a division in my law firm that did taxes. I had we could be here all day talking about all the different things.
Wow.
But what you have to do is you have to say, listen, those are monetizable skills. What happens if you can't practice law tomorrow? What happens if you can't, serve in your doctor profession? What happens if you get laid off from the job? What happens if those positions that you occupy are only positions? You have intellect that nobody can take away from you. And when you learn how to turn that into a profitable business, I don't care what happens to you. Not only do you survive, you continue to thrive.
Yes. I love that, because that's really the key as well to creating that generational
Absolutely.
wealth. And once you know how to monetize your intellectual property, you can
Yes.
start making money while you
Yes.
sleep, while you
While you
sit
sleep.
by the beach.
I'm doing a webinar. I'm actually doing a webinar on Thursday.
Mhm.
And this webinar on Thursday is, the title is 6 Figures in 60 Minutes. Who wouldn't? I've done that. You ever make six figures in 60 minutes?
I think I'm gonna sign up for that course.
Right? But what I'm saying, and listen, I'm not saying that that happens every day, but strategically, you could
Yes.
actually have six-figure paydays. You could have
Mm.
six-figure months. You could have five-figure paydays, five-figure months. Like, it's possible when you learn how to take all of your special, unique gifts and you package it and you put it in the marketplace for
Come
what the
on.
true value is. Okay. Because when you get paid,
Yes.
when you go and you work like a job or a position, they're paying you to fill that particular position. But when you're in the marketplace, you get to now exchange your unique gifts and talents for the value that it's worth. Like, what does it mean to someone if you could stop them from getting a divorce? What does it mean from someone if you could prevent them from having a heart attack? What does it mean to someone if you can show them how to escape the soul sucking job and create a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure business? What is that worth to them?
So true. So true.
So that's what we have to come to realize, is that
And
we
one question that I wanted to ask you as well, because you know, when you make that shift into the marketplace, I find even coaching a lot of women, there's such a low value of what they're worth and what they actually have to offer. How did you shift, or how would you encourage someone to shift from that place to actually begin to value themselves and charge what they're actually, worth, without
so
belittling their
so
value?
this is what I'll say. The first thing is, you have to first of all have a change in your mindset, and you have to understand you are worth what you believe. Okay. If you believe that you're worth $20,000 a year, you are worth $20,000 a year. If you believe you are worth 6 figures in 60 minutes, you're worth 6 figures in 60 minutes. So the first thing is getting it in your mind that you are worthy and that you have value. That's the first thing. It's a mindset shift. Once you have this mindset shift and you understand, listen, here's the thing. If I went to college for 4 years, and then I went to law school for 3 years, and then I got a master's of trial advocacy for another year, and then I go work at a DA's office working day in, day out for 3 or 4 years, and then I go into private practice and I do that, and I create 3 businesses over the course of a year, and then I'm doing that for the next 4 or 5 years. All of that is valuable.
Come on.
So in no way, shape, or form am I going to now step into this marketplace and think that I'm worth $20,000. No, I'm going to look at all of that because that makes me valuable. But the other thing I'm going to look at is, what is it worth to you? So if Dr. Venesia Williams wants to hire me to help her grow a 6-7 figure business, what is it worth? If I can help, if you're making, let's just say you're making 20,000, let's just say you're making 20,000 a year. And then after working with me, you're making 6 figures, 100,000.
Yeah.
So that means while working with me, you've increased your income by 80,000. What is that worth? So why in the world, if I help you make $80,000, does it sound ridiculous if I ask you to sign up for my $25,000 coaching program?
Come on.
Because if you sign up for my $25,000 coaching program, and now you made, you increased by 80,000, according to my calculations, you still 50,000 plus above what it was before we met. So the question is, I don't think you cannot afford my price.
Listen, You cannot afford my price. Listen, that is it. That is it
Right. You
right
cannot,
there.
because you're losing money. If you're losing money, if you don't, it's just like people and I'm not a gambler, but people will take $1 to put into the lottery hoping to get 100,000. Why? Because they see the value of what that $100,000 will do if it can just change their lives. So we as women, we have to understand, like, we are that lottery for someone. They're going to
Come
invest
on.
in us because we have the potential to change their lives.
Ooh, that's good. That is so good.
And once you understand that, you know, I don't trade time for dollars. Like, no, you can't pay me by the hour. You're paying me for the result. You're paying me for the transformation. You're paying me for helping you go from making $20,000 to $100,000. Okay, that's the 80,000 gain in between. You're not willing to pay 20, 25,000 to get that? Because guess what? Once you pay that 20, 25,000, that's not going to last forever. That you get to make more and more years and years. It's a skill that you get to keep. It becomes part of you. So maybe next year you're not paying me anything because maybe our coaching relationship, our consultant relationship is over, but now you're continuously making not only 80, but probably 150, 200, 6, 7 figures. There are a lot of entrepreneurs out here now that are making 6, 7, 8 figures because they invested in a coach or a consultant when they didn't really even have it to invest in.
So true.
But now look where they are, right? So it's like you could sit back, I always say pay for speed. Because listen, you're going to learn. You can probably get there, but you have to ask yourself, at what cost and how long? If you don't hire someone who's already been there and done that, then at what cost is it going to be to you?
So
and
true.
How long is it going to take you to get there? Because I believe in coaches and I believe in consultants. I believe in that, because going to school and getting a formal foundation education, that's a great foundation. But in the marketplace, it's a really good idea to get someone that has gone where you're trying to go.
Yes.
Right.
That's got the results that you desire.
Right. You know, if it's like, if he did it, why can't I do it? Because a lot of times, even the professors, think about it. Your professors in college, they weren't that successful. They were professors, but most of them weren't that successful in terms of what they were making. They weren't making 7 figures. No, they're not. Nobody's paying a professor 7 figures. 7 figures. So you can go learn the fundamentals from your professor in college, or you can get out here and you can hire you someone who is out here in the marketplace making 7 figures consistently. I'm not talking about one-offs, but making it consistently. Who do you want to follow? You want to follow the professor who's giving you the play-by-play from the book that he's reading, or you want to get out here and get it from the person that's in the marketplace that is doing it with hands-on clients.
True.
Right? So you have to make the decision for yourself. It's what are you, always say, where are you? You want to invest in the person you're becoming.
Say that again, Shevelle. Say that one more time.
Invest in the person you're becoming. Because it's not about where you are now. Where are you trying to go? That's the first thing. You have to envision where it is you want to go. If you want to travel the world and you want to wake up by beaches and wake up, on the 30th of June in London launching a book, you're gonna have to do some things different. Because that's not, it says like you want to spend enough time invested in yourself so you can live the life, that other people wish they were living. And it's not that they can't live the life, but the conversation is, are they willing to make the investments and the sacrifices
necessary?
Necessary. Woo. Okay. Because the dream is free, but that hustle, that's something different.
It takes work.
It takes work. It takes work. But what they say, behind every overnight success is probably at least 5 or 10 years of investing in themselves, of gaining mastery. Right?
It's so true.
Like even like I'm writing this book now, but this was from 2017, 18, 19, 21, 2, 3. It's 6 years later. Right? So, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, are you are you developing yourself and your skills for your future self?
That's so good.
Your
That is
future
so
self
good.
would really, your future self is banking on you to do something great.
Listen, Shevelle, the executive, it is going to be in London, guys. This is what I'm talking
I'm
about.
coming.
These divine
I got my
connections are
plane
so.
tickets. I listen. I'm in the house. I will be in the UK. Okay, it's not if I'm gonna be. It's how long. I'm just trying to figure that part out. How long am
That
I gonna
part,
be?
how
Is it
long?
is it
And
gonna be a month? Like how long? You know, I don't like to come places and stay short for a short period of time.
we want all the books to be just sold out. We want her sell her out
Let's do
completely.
it.
Completely. Shevelle, I've got one question for you. What is the best advice that you've received?
The best advice that I have received.
Yes.
I've gotten a lot of advice, but I'm going to probably say the best advice I have received is to really invest in myself. I
Yeah.
think that's the best advice because I'm going to tell you, honestly, in the beginning, that was difficult for me because I'm thinking, I've been to law school, I've been here, like, I'm doing, and for me to continue because college and law school is not cheap,
That's
right?
it.
It's not
That's
cheap.
it.
But then you come to realize that, like, I'm really, really, I do not think that I would be on the journey that I'm on now had I not invested in myself further beyond my formal education. Investing in myself and getting the right mentors has made a huge difference in my life.
What would you say? What would you say was some of those challenges? Because I'm sure we've got women, we may have some fellas. Hey, how you doing on here today? That are at that place, like they're at that crossroad where they actually know that they really are unhappy with what life they're living now, and maybe they've tried a few things. Because I remember when I was there, you try a few things and they don't really work. So you go back into that shell where you're just sort of stagnant back at that same place again, not willing to make that step to go forward in an opportunity or to invest in themselves.
Well, twofold. Number one, a lot of times we don't see. I would say, at least for me, I did not initially want to invest in myself outside of what my norm. Number one, I was comfortable. It wasn't like I was really struggling, right? I mean, life could have been better, but I wasn't struggling, and I had already invested in my formal education. So I was thinking, a part of me was like, do I really need that? Right? I'm pretty smart. I could figure it out. So a lot of times we get in our own way because we think that we're trained, we're educated, we have our degrees or whatever. But the fact of the matter is we can't see our own blind spots. That's the problem.
Girl,
We can't
that will
see our
preach
own
right there. I felt the
blind
preacher come
spots.
out of me right there.
You just can't, right? And every coach should have a coach because at the end of the day, you can't see your own blind spots. That's the first thing is you need someone who has gone before you and who has had proven success. And I'm not talking about like temporary. I'm talking about long term, like they're still thriving, proven success. Because sometimes you can have the wrong mentor. And there's a lot this in the coaching world, there are not a lot of standards, right? So there's not a lot of standards. So you could have just not had the right person. So you really have to vet people and see what are like I tell people, I have receipts. Okay. And receipts is just proof and testimony and strike reports and things of that nature to show that like you're really, you are really getting the transformation that you are offering to the people who are coming behind you. So that's first and foremost. Okay. The second thing is one of the things you said is because you've tried this, you've tried that, is consistency. Because nothing usually works. Maybe you might get lucky, but usually things don't work the first time. So we have to try. we have to make reiterations of things. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you get in your car and you don't know where you're going. So you start driving, you can't figure it out. So you put your GPS on, your GPS will reroute you. But if you get in your car and you just sit there and you never put your GPS on, you can never be rerouted. You're
That's
just going to
good.
stay there. So you have to ask yourself, if I don't do anything in my life, in my business, in my circumstances, in this relationship, in this business, with my children, with my weight, whatever your issue is, if you just sit there, you cannot be rerouted. You're just going to sit there. It's going to start and end right there. But if you get
Yes.
out there, and even if you take imperfect action, you're going to learn a lesson from that action. That lesson is your GPS. That lesson is going to redirect you to where you should be going. Because I've had a lot of things happen to me in my life. I mean, sometimes I wake up, I always go, Satan said, dang, this girl back up again. I've been knocked down, rolled over, but that's not the point. The point is that I keep getting up and I keep moving. And listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not like a lot of people. Like, when things happen to me, like my adversaries, when adversities and stuff come, I'm not saying I'm not affected, but I can't control my past. So I have to look at what that adversity was. And then I have to ask myself, that adversity came as for a GPS moment. It came because something needed to be changed. It came because I needed to redirect my path. It came because the path I was on was probably not in alignment. Or it came because the path I was on, I wasn't appreciating. Or it came because the path I was on, I outgrew. Whatever the reason is, it's a reason for that. And so as long as you keep moving consistently in the right direction, you will be redirected to where you're supposed to be. And then you'll be able to look back, and then you will understand, because we always say hindsight is 2020. Sometimes when you're going through the storms and you're going through the different things and the programs and stuff is not working, it's really working.
Yes.
It's really working. We think it's not working, but it's really working. When you find out that that relationship that you were in for a long time, like, suddenly ended, and you're like, oh my God, it's not working. Oh, it's really working, because it's working in your favor for
In
the
your
next.
favor.
It's working in your,
Yes.
everything is working in your favor, in your life, your business, your relationship. Everything is working in your favor if you believe in a higher power, right? So I usually, when things happen to me, a storm comes, I get excited. I get excited.
Perspective.
I get
Yes.
excited. It's all, you know why I get excited? Because I'm like, oh my God, this storm came because something needed to shift. Something needed
Yes.
to shift. Because a lot of times we, like I say, we stay in our comfort zone, or we could be doing things out of order, or whatever the case may be, and we stay, or we continue on that path. And a lot of times we got to get the boom, right? We got to get the boom, because most
Yes.
of us will just keep on moving along. But when that boom comes, you like, oh, now you're forced to pay attention. You're forced. So when you're forced to pay attention, that's when the transformation can occur. And then at the end of the day, that transformation, that becomes your testimony for someone else. But I always say, this is the thing too, that this is one of the things that you also have to understand. And I tell this to my clients all the time. When the storm comes, here's the problem. When the storm comes, you got to keep moving, but you don't got to talk about the storm. You got to keep moving, because while you're going through it, you may not even understand the storm or the direction. So I have this thing upstairs. It says, just be still and know that I am God. Just be still. So sometimes you have to be still enough, keep moving and progressing, but you can't be, don't complain and whine, and don't, you just got to keep moving forward. And you have to still understand, you have to say to yourself, like I always say, am I moving towards the person I want to become? As long as you can have that as your North Star, then the other things that are happening to you, they're happening for you to help you get.
Yes.
They're not happening to you,
Woo.
they're happening for you. Right? And
I
so we
love
have to
that.
learn how to be consistent, especially in trying times. Because a lot of times what happens is when the storm comes, we think, especially as entrepreneurs, when it's, oh my God, okay, that Facebook ad didn't work. Let me go over here. That didn't work. I'm gonna go try a funnel. That didn't work. I'm gonna go try speaking. That didn't. So we're trying all these things. Nothing is ever going to work. Because you keep switching. It's called the shiny bright object syndrome. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this. And this is the thing. Most people that I encounter that are successful are really doing one thing.
One thing they just
They're
master
doing
that
one
thing.
thing and they are crushing it with the one thing. And even if you think about some of the influencers, like, like Russell Brunson, he's known for the funnels, right? He's the funnel guy, right? You think of Pedro, he's the challenge guy. You think of, I could go on and on and on, but when you think of these people, you think of Grant Cardone, you think of 10X, like they're focused on this one thing. They become known for that. They master it. And it doesn't mean that they're not doing other things along the way, but they really focused on that until that became successful. So we can stay consistent and focus on this one thing. Then when it becomes successful, you can go and you can do other ventures. But if you're trying to dip your finger over here and you're trying to do this and you're trying to do that, right? Your energy is all over the place.
So true.
And it's usually not going to be successful for you because you have to be consistent.
Yes, it's that laser sharp focus.
Laser sharp focus. That's why the
Consistency.
experts get paid more than the generalists. And that's another thing with like some like you asked me about the women with their value. Like, are they trying to be expert at anything? That's another thing they consider. What are you trying to do? Because if you are all over the place and you don't see yourself as an expert at this one thing, you're not really going to put a high value on it because you're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That means you're getting a little bit of money over here and a little bit of money there. But if you sat down and you said, no, I am the queen of trademark law. And that is all that my law firm does, because that's all my law firm does at this point, right? That's all, you could come with any other issue, but the folks at McPherson RP are only doing that. So that means that we know what it's worth. We know the value.
Yeah.
We know the value. So we don't have to question it. It's all we do.
That's it. That is it.
Right? So if you look into, the things that you're doing and you ask yourself, am I specializing or am I a generalist? Because if you go to the cardiologist with a heart problem, he's not going to be like, oh, how much should I charge? This man has all this experience. He's about to save your life. He knows it's valuable. Now, if you go to the general practitioner and he's diagnosing people with colds and flus and allergy, he's fixing little problems. Little problems. So that's why you want to expertise. You want to do expertise. You want to fix bigger problems because bigger problems come with bigger value.
Yes. Woo.
All right. So if you have a bigger problem that you're solving for someone, then that is going to be much more valuable than it is to fix a little problem. So I just try to fix big problems.
Now you know why she is legally bossed up. Okay. Now you know
I try to fix big problems because listen, and don't have a scarcity mindset, right? Don't think that I'm not in competition with anybody. I don't have to. None of us have to compete because at the end of the day, we all have our own unique DNA. And when I say DNA, I mean I'm talking about your distinct natural abilities that no one else has. When you look at like you can look at, even as an attorney, if someone wanted to hire me, I can look at my educational background, my trial background, coupled with the experiences that I've had, the cases that I've had to do. Like all of that makes me unique when I couple it together because nobody else has had that exact same experience. It doesn't mean they haven't had their own, but they haven't had the Shevelle experience, just like I haven't had the Venesia experience, right? So when Venesia comes, she's bringing her own flair and flavor. And when I come, I'm bringing mine. There's going to be some people that are going to resonate with the style of Dr. Venesia Williams. There's going to be some that resonate with the style of Shevelle, right? So at the end of the day, it's all good because you can't serve everybody. It was like 7 billion people on this planet. You think you can serve them all? So sometimes we get into this competition, mindset, and it's not necessary. It's not necessary at all. I mean, when I get ready to have like launches for my products, I can call on, a lot of times I have clients, prospects that me and a lot of my colleagues, we have a common client, but we serve a different purpose. So for instance, there could be an entrepreneur who needs a trademark. They can refer them to my firm. There could be that same entrepreneur could be going through a divorce. Then I can refer them to the relationship coach because I'm not doing relationship coach, right? And then that same entrepreneur, is going to see the relationship coach, realizes they just got a letter from the IRS, they got a tax problem. Now they can be referred. So this entrepreneur has a lot of problems that can be fixed. So don't think that that you have to be competing with anybody, because there's so many different problems that we all have, that there's room for everyone. And then the Bible says, your gifts will make
room for you.
Your gifts will make room for you. So why, if you know that your gifts will make room for you, I mean, I'm a woman of faith, so therefore it's really difficult to shake me. Because it's really hard. I mean, even when things are, like I said, I could be going through some things, but I'm coasting through anything in life. Like, I'm not coasting and saying like it's not issues and adversities aren't a big deal. But perspective, like reality is how you see it.
That's it.
You can't touch reality. Reality is here.
Yes.
So what's your reality? Is your reality the mess that you're in, or is your reality the person that you're becoming?
The person that you're becoming. Shevelle, listen, I'm so excited. Like, I cannot wait to meet you in person, for all these phenomenal women to come and see you. But before we wrap up, I need you to tell the people where they can reach you, what you got coming up that they can invest in and support you. Like, listen, let them know.
I'm going to tell them right now what they need to do. If they've been empowered by this at all, and if they know that they have some intellect, meaning if you have some skills, some knowledge, you have some degrees, you have a coaching business, you have some intelligence, and you know that you are ready to leverage it because you're not monetizing it enough. It could be over there at that soul-sucking job, that claustrophobic cubicle, or it could just be in your business that you just can't get to scale. Then you need to show up on Thursday, because I'm having a webinar, 6 figures in 60 minutes. We're going to talk about how we can start putting some consistent profit on the table without stressing ourselves, without denying ourselves this lifestyle that we deserve, because we get to choose, right? So show up there. And I'm going to give you the link. It is intellecttoincome.com masterclass /masterclass. So if they want to come, it's free. It's free. I'm not charging a dime. So just show up. And I'm not charging. It's free. It's www.com income to intellect. No, I said that wrong. www.intellecttoincome.com /masterclass. This Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm really going to talk about, getting out of this stuckness in this profit hamster wheel, in this being a commodity, in this, this circle that we keep traveling in. We don't need to, because we are a walking asset. It's time that we learn how to monetize ourselves. All right. So if you're ready to monetize you need to come to this free masterclass.
I love it.
And they need to come to London too, because I'm coming there. Yes, intellect. No, you got to put, it's / after com, it's / masterclass.
Hold on, let me do that. / masterclass. What was it taking?
Yeah, that's a free training.
Let me do it here. Intellect to and let them know where they can reach you.
And so I'm Shevelle McPherson everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Shevelle McPherson, LinkedIn, everywhere, Shevelle McPherson.
How have I got it right this time? Did I get it right this time?
Let's see. I didn't see it.
Is it not coming up?
Okay. Intellecttoincome.com. Yep, you got it.
Everyone, get into this masterclass. It's absolutely free. We saw Shevelle just drops gems, wealth of information. So could you imagine, like, when you're investing, what you are going to receive, the results, like where your life is going to be? Don't you see? Don't you want these results? Everyone needs to go and follow Shevelle McPherson right now, because she's living a soft life. She's on the laptop. She's doing her thing in some trouble. Like, I can't keep up. She's just going around the she needs to global, because she's just traveling.
The work from wherever, boss.
That's it.
You're looking for me. I'm usually by the water somewhere.
Absolutely. I just want to thank you so much for coming on today, for taking the time out to share. It's absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to sign up for this masterclass myself.
It's going down.
6 figures in 60 minutes. Make that make sense.
Make that make sense.
I absolutely love it. Remember, also, she's got books available. You can go and grab her books. So, Legally Bossed Up. Come on, what's the other one?
Yep. Intellect to Income. Right now, if they want to get on that's pre-launch. Intellect to Income, same name here, but instead of /masterclass, it's /VIP list. So yeah, it's VIP list. If they get on the list, it's launching from London, June 30th.
Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Shevelle, thank you so much.
You are welcome. It's a pleasure being here.
I cannot wait to connect.
And for everybody watching, make sure I always say it's not just about watching for inspiration. It's about being inspired to take empowered action. Yes,
that's it. Listen, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you haven't shared, make sure you share. Make sure you tag a few people. And most of all, make sure you go to www.intellecttoincome.com/masterclass. It's happening Thursday. And if you haven't got your ticket to Empowering Women to Win, I don't know what you do.
I don't either.
I don't know what you doing.
We already told them what happens in the room. We leave the room with books and connections, everything.
That part right there.
Everything.
Guys, I absolutely love you all. Thank you, Shevelle, for coming on.
You're welcome.
Thank you all for tuning in. And I'll be back next week, same time. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.